I'm coming to you guys with a story time. It's October. Everyone's telling their creepy horror stories or their different experiences, and I want to tell you mine too. Sleep paralysis, and I've seen so many stories on YouTube with people talking about their experiences with sleep paralysis. So let's just jump right into it, and I'm going to tell you my story. So this was a while ago when my grandfather had died. When my grandfather died, we had a funeral for him in New Jersey, and we had a funeral for him in South Carolina because that's like where the family is from. That's hometown. We arrived a few days before the funeral. My aunt lives in this big house, and as a child, me and my cousins were always kind of scared of different areas in the house, like in the attic. Nobody wanted to go in the attic. That was just a very scary place. Even though like nothing happened, I don't know, it's just creepy up there. But anyway, so my grandfather, we were very close. Like actually leading up to his death, I stayed out of school for like a week. This is when I was in grade school. I had stayed out of school for a week because I didn't really want to leave his side. He had just had his surgery, and he just loved when we would come to the hospital to see him. And I remember him being on a respirator. That's like some of the last memories I have of him alive. And so I left. I stayed for a week, and when I left, he died. I believe it was like a week or two later. I was laying on the couch, and my mom, it was in the morning. I remember the sun was shining out really bright. And I remember my mom, she called me, but her voice sounded different. And this is my mom's father, by the way. She said, "Jakia?" And I said, "Yeah." It was in the morning. I remember how the sun was, it was just shining so bright. And she said, "Granddaddy passed away." I partially think that maybe she didn't come out there because she probably was really hurt. And I remember something just went across right before she said it, just right, and I just had a big smile on my face because I knew what she was going to say. So anyway, we were going to Jersey. We got to Jersey, and when our family gets together, it's always fun. Like, I can't wait till Thanksgiving. I would have them on camera. You can meet them. But anyway, I remember, we were all having a good time. We were happy to see each other. We were all sad, of course, but it was cool. And then as it was time to get ready for bed, my mother comes to me, and my mom said, "I'm not sleeping upstairs," because my aunt has a big house. You kind of could sleep different places, like, but I always used to sleep in my cousin's room or my auntie's room. That's just where I always like to sleep. So my mom said, "Well, I'm sleeping downstairs," and I'm thinking, "Oh, okay, good. You can sleep down here. I don't want to sleep down here." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, that's fine. You can sleep down here." Like she needed my permission. She's like, "I want you to sleep with me." I'm like, what? Because the only place to sleep downstairs is in my grandfather's room. His room was downstairs on the main level because, he was older. You don't want him walking up and down steps. So I'm looking at her like, "And you want me?" I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "No, I'm sleeping upstairs with Aunt Edmund." And she's like, "No, I want you to sleep with me." And I'm just looking at her, and I'm like, no, like, girl, no. I'm like, no, I'm sleeping upstairs with my Aunt anyway. And she's like, "No, I really want you to sleep with me." And I'm just kind of like, I don't want to keep telling my mom no because that's actually uncomfortable, but like, no. My grandfather and I were very close, and I love my grandfather. Like, to this day, sometimes when I really have, like, when I reminisce about the times we had, I still cry. Some family members, doesn't matter how long they're gone, they're always in your heart, and sometimes you just cry, And I said, "I am not sleeping down here. I am sleeping upstairs." I just didn't want to sleep in the room. It was just like, no, I know my grandfather would not try to hurt me, but I just didn't want to sleep in there. So eventually she's like, "No, I want you to sleep down here. Like, sleep down here with me. Don't do that. You can't sleep down here with me. So I was like, all right. But I'm like, we should sleep on the couch. She was like, no, I'm going to sleep in the room. I'm just like, you are trying it, girl. Miss Thing, I don't want to sleep in there. Like, system overload. Like, this is my grandfather. He's passed away. I'm sleeping in his bed. It's just all types of memories. I don't know. I was just young and it just felt like too much, honestly. I just didn't want to sleep in there. To make a long story short, it's nighttime and I'm in the bed. She's in the bed. We stayed up and we talked for a little bit. She was kind of reminiscing about my granddad, and she was kind of talking about memories from them, like growing up. And I think it was comforting for her to sleep in that bed. And so I was just like, okay. So then she fell asleep. I'm talking sleep. And I'm just like, I'm up and it's really dark because my auntie, honey, when it's time for bed, all the lights go off. So it was dark and I am afraid of the dark. I'm just like, girl. So I was just thinking, I don't know how I'm gonna fall asleep because my mind was just racing all night and like hours had gone by and I couldn't go to sleep. So then I began to drift, and I remember thinking like, finally I'm getting sleepy. You know, when you just getting so sleepy, you just know it's like it's coming. So I was like, finally, you know. And it's like as I drifted down into my sleep, I'm drifting and then like, you know, like that. I don't know if that was a good reenactment, but that's kind of how it was. And I couldn't move. I couldn't move. That was the first time that ever happened to me. And I couldn't move. And I was just like, I could move my eyeballs and I could think. And that is all I could do. Like, I was like, what is happening right now? I'm like, oh no. I was in a state of confusion and shock. And I was just like, what is going on? I was laying on my back like this and my arms were to my side. And I was just looking. I'm just looking around the room. I'm just like, I was like, God, I do remember saying, like, I don't want to see anything. I always pray against that. I don't want to see anything. And I always tell people, when you die, don't come back to me. Just let me see you when I get to heaven, because I don't want to see anything. Like, and I'm very adamant about that. If you die, don't come back for me. Just go be with the Lord, and I will see you when I get there. But I didn't tell my grandfather that, of course. But, you know, I was saying that to say I was hoping that I didn't see anything when I was looking around. So I'm looking. I didn't see anything, and I was feeling like I was nudging my mom, but I wasn't moving. I couldn't move. What it really felt like was like somebody was holding me. That makes me emotional, because I know that that was my grandfather. I felt like somebody was holding me. And it wasn't like I've heard people describe it, holding them so tight that they were losing their breath. It wasn't like that. It was just like, you know, and I remember just not even reacting, just trying to wake my mom up, you know. And then finally, I was like, I really felt like I was moving my arm. Like, I started jerking, like, girl, wake up. You over there sleeping, dreaming. I'm over here being held down. Like, girl, you gotta wake up. But, of course, she didn't wake up because, of course, I wasn't even moving. Like, when I finally, and it just broke off of me. It just, how I began to be able to move and gain control of my body again, it was like holding, and then it was like, it just let go. And then at that point I was able to move, and I was just like, what just happened? Like, you know, and I was scared to get out of the bed, and I feel kind of bad being afraid because I shouldn't have been afraid, but I was young. And then my mom was asleep and I didn't want to wake her, so I just laid there and I said, okay, I'm gonna just stay up until the sky turns blue. That's how I know I was up all night, because by the time like the paralysis ended, I do remember seeing the blue sky, and only at that time was I comfortable to go to sleep. To the point that even when I woke up, to get ready for the funeral. I wasn't even sleepy. I was just glad to be up and moving around. Like, it really freaked me out. I went to my uncle. My Uncle Boo. Uncle Boo is like my favorite person in the world. He's still here. Thank you, God. I only went to him. I didn't even go to my mom. I only went to my uncle. And I went to my uncle and I said, Uncle Boo, I said last night when I was asleep, and I told him the story, I couldn't move, and he said it was like your grandfather was holding you down. Sometimes they say like a hag on your back. I just heard all types of stuff. I know it was him because the relationship that we had, what they say is that if somebody really loves you, they want to come back to see you. But I've also heard people say like when someone really hates you, they can come back too. So I know mine was from a place of love. Some others may have some people that really hate them and they want to come back and kill them. I don't know, but that was my sleep paralysis story. It wasn't scary. It wasn't scary. It was scary. No, it actually was. It was very scary. But in hindsight, I'm not scared anymore because I know that was my grandfather. I still have dreams of him speaking to me in my dreams. So like, I definitely know that he is still with me, and he was with me that night. It was just scary, y'all. But anyway, bye guys. I love you. If I can think of any more stories, I'll definitely come and tell you. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.